Okay. Hey, it's your girl Nicole, and you're listening to the Risers Hub podcast. Welcome back. I hope everyone is doing well and hanging in there. If there's one piece of advice I'd like to give everyone today, I would like to tell you to keep moving forward. Whether you're doing good, not so good, happy, crying, pissed off, please keep putting one foot in front of the other and move forward. We are living in very challenging times and it's hard to stay motivated, but you have to keep moving. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, fitness, working out, and moving your butt with Vivian Ajahi. Vivian is a personal trainer on the other side of the pond, the UK, and she specializes in one-on-one personal training, small group training, and dance. I started following her back in late, I believe, 2023, and I had no idea she was across the pond.
So far away.
So far away. But with her beauty and her energy and her great workouts, I just kept following her, and I got the nerve to ask her to be on the podcast, and she has come back for a second time. So welcome, Vivian.
Absolutely.
How are
Thank
you?
you. I'm really good. I'm really good. And I'm very excited to be back. I'm relieved that you asked me back, to be honest. Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes, I'll be bugging you all year, so you might as well get ready.
Either way, I'm good with that. Absolutely.
Good. So tell us about yourself and how you got into
Sure.
fitness and what are your specialties?
Sure. So I've always been into fitness in one way or another. So from starting dance at the age of, well, whenever my parents could just throw me into something. So I think probably from the age of 5, and then getting into athletics and group sports from netball, hockey. I kind of did it all. And then when I hit my early to mid 20s, you stop moving, or I've stopped moving as much. I think I discovered that I could drive everywhere. There's no longer, I finished uni. So that kind of social aspect of exercise kind of stopped, and I went into the work life. And as a result, I just found myself moving less and eating more. And it's as simple as that. And I remember one day just waking up and saying, right, let me put on my summer clothes and not fitting into anything. And I realized that it was simply because I had stopped moving in the way that I used to, the way that gave me joy. And I just wasn't willing anymore to feel that way. I was buying bigger clothes and kidding myself by saying it's more comfortable, it's cozy. But actually, I just didn't fit in anything. And that's the truth. I never wanted to be a particular size. I just wanted to fit in my clothes and just feel good again. So at that point, I got a trainer, and she was incredible. And it coincided with some hard times in my life. Um, I started with her, and then about 2 weeks later, some difficult times started. And what I now realize is that when I look back, if it wasn't for her and her coaching, I would have struggled to be what I needed to be for my family and friends during that hard time. I needed more than the shape change. I needed that mental release that was all about me, um, giving back to myself, filling my cup back up in order to be what I needed to be for other people. And the bonus, I guess, was being able to fit back in my clothes, feel confident, feel strong. And at that point, I decided I didn't want to go back to my previous corporate job. I wanted to make other women feel as amazing as that woman made me feel, as powerful and as strong as she made me feel. And I was like, if I can just take a little essence of you and pass it on, that's what I was going to do. And that's what I've done ever since. So thank you,
And
Jodie, still.
I love that. And what I like about what you said is I decided to make the change because I didn't want to buy the bigger clothes. I didn't want to feel this way. And that's so true when you're building your fitness goals. If you're trying to lose weight or get fit for another reason and not for yourself, it's not going to stick, And I
It
think
never does.
it never does. It never even if you're like, "I
Mm.
have to get in shape for my wedding." Okay, that's great, but, like, what are you gonna do after the wedding? Or do you still wanna be
It's
fit?
always temporary. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then you
which
wonder
really
like 5 years later,
is
where
it.
did this gut come from? It's like, well, you weren't doing it for
It's on you.
you.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. So today we are going to be talking about sticking with your fitness goals, getting back on track, making your workouts work for you. And lastly, if
Mm,
you are struggling with staying motivated, you feel lost on where to start, or you're wondering if you should hit the gym in the morning or in the evening, this episode is going to be for you. So grab your water, lace up those sneakers, and we're going to get
let's
right
do
into it.
this.
Okay, so sticking with your workout goals, we're in the first month of the year and
Mhm.
we're at the end of the week of the first month. And I know that some of you are getting tired of going to the gym or running or working out. It's already hit you. So, Vivian, what do
Yeah.
you suggest to our listeners about staying committed and not giving up? Because this is like, was it Quitters Friday? Was a couple weeks ago.
Is
I
that
don't.
what I've not heard that term. Is that what it's called?
I
Oh
haven't
boy.
heard it either. It was new to me this year. So yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I would always say, don't be afraid to start again. There's this kind of worry about, oh God, I've fallen off the bandwagon. I've got to start all over again. I don't want to start again as many times as you need to. It goes back to the basics. So a lot of times the reason why people have fallen off or are no longer as committed as they were just a couple of weeks ago is because they haven't really made their goals based around their lifestyle. You've decided that you're going to go hard 5 days a week. You're going to walk 5 miles every single day. You're going to go to the gym 6 times and only have 1 day rest. And you're going to go to every class that's on at your gym. That's a lot. Like,
It's a
that.
lot.
It's a lot. And we have the best intentions, but we're not really thinking about the future self. You get tired. Life gets in the way. Appointments come up, and you can't always therefore make it to the gym or do the run that day. So start small. Be realistic. If you know that really you have a good solid 2 days in the week where you can go for that walk, go for that run, attend a class, start with that. Do that
Yeah.
consistently for 3, 4, 5 weeks. Get the feeling of success down. That makes you feel so good. And that helps motivate you to continue. Don't worry because you've missed one session. That's okay. Because the plan is you're going to be doing this hopefully the rest of your life. This is a lifestyle change. This is something to make you feel good and strong for the rest of your life. So you don't need to be perfect. It never helps. So I would say start small, feel free to start again, and also schedule things in your diary. I always find that just the same way you have a dentist appointment, you've got to pick up the kids at this time, you've got to go to the
Right.
doctors. It's in your diary. Your phone gives you a notification. Put that in your diary as well. Get to the gym, leg day, upper body day, run day. Put it in your diary and make sure that you haven't underestimated the amount of time you need to get to the gym or to get dressed so that you could go and do your workout at home. Build that time in. So if you only have half an hour for your workout, add another 15 minutes to the beginning of that to get dressed
Right.
because nothing feels worse than looking at the time and going, I've got to go. I haven't been able to do anything I wanted to do. It makes you feel like you're failing, but you weren't failing. You just never gave yourself enough time. So
Exactly.
I would say schedule it in the diary, start small, don't be afraid to start again.
I love that. And the biggest thing is like for me, what I had to get over is if I couldn't work out every day, I felt like, man, I felt like a failure. And I would see somebody
You
running, I'm
failed, you
like, I need to
failed.
run today. And yeah, and it's just like it's not even a fail because I'm still fit. It's just one day.
Mm,
And to be honest, like my body needed that rest, so because I would start the very next day and I felt so much better. So you can't beat yourself up after every little thing that you didn't do. And I like the idea too that you said set small little milestones because if you're aiming
mm,
for these massive changes and I'm going to work out like you said 6 days a week for 1 hour and I'm going to do this, you're going to like you are going to feel like you're a failure if you miss a day. Like
yeah,
you have to start
absolutely.
small. You. Um I
Yeah.
for me, like, I have one day during the week where I don't have to go to work. I have one day in the middle of the week, and so that day is, like, the day that I'm gonna load up in the gym, and I'm gonna load up at the
Mm,
trails, and I'm gonna go my runs and do all my stretching and my yoga because I love fitness, and so that's my one day
yeah.
where I know I'm gonna do a lot, and then all the
Yeah.
other days, I know what my schedule is, so I'm gonna fit it in where I can fit it in. And I don't beat myself up anymore, and I'm pretty fit. I'm pretty happy with where I am. So I really like that idea with the small
Yeah.
milestones. What do
Yeah.
you think about having an accountability partner? Because I do like that as well.
Yeah. And that could be a buddy partner that you go to the gym with or go out for runs with, or you're checking that you guys have made the right meals for the week. Have you done your meal prep? I think that's really important. I think one thing to be mindful of is making sure that you pick someone who is kind of on the same level as you. That is important. You obviously, at times, nothing is always 50-50, but you don't want to be with someone where they're essentially carrying you all the way or the other way around. You kind of want to find someone where it's kind of it's level. You've got similar goals or similar interests so that you can depend on each other. You want someone
Mhm.
who, when you're feeling a little slack, they're going to go, right, no, no, Vivian, you need to get up, you need to go. And you know that you are able to do that for them. So and that it almost sounds like I'm saying, don't pick anyone. Pick
Right.
someone, but make sure that they are on a similar track to you.
Yeah, and they wanna see you win. You know, it's one thing if you're competing with that person, it fails every time. It fails every time, and if you
Yeah.
were somewhere yeah, if you were someone who wants to see you win, and like you said, if you're feeling a certain way, they're like, "Nope, we gotta keep going, we gotta keep moving." Yeah,
Yeah.
you that's the person you need to be with, and I
Yeah.
do agree
They
with
need to be your
level.
cheerleader.
Exactly, and I've been with someone who was either a little bit, at a higher level than I was, or I was a little bit higher level than they were, and it doesn't last. Like, you start out with good intentions, but one of you guys are gonna get really frustrated, and it's not gonna last, so I really like the idea of being
Yeah.
at that same level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay. So, how do you start again after a very long break? So, you started working out. Let's just forget about New Year's resolutions.
Mm.
You start working out back in September, and you've been going pretty strong for a couple of months, and then, like me and you were talking earlier, life happens, and you
Mm.
kind of fall
Yeah,
off
it
the
does.
bandwagon. Or,
Mm.
um you're a mom with 3 kids and, you
Mhm.
had a tight schedule and you were able to really get those workouts in, but now, like, a kid got sick or a kid's having issues at school and it's stressing the whole family out and you kind of fall off the bandwagon. What do you do to start again after a long break? What do you suggest?
Yeah. I tell you what, there's that phrase, there's nothing new under the sun, right? So it's like I was saying before, you don't have to reinvent anything. You haven't ethically failed just because you weren't as great today as you were back 3 months ago. Try and think back to what you did 3 months ago and how you started. You will have started
Mm,
small. Do it again. There is nothing wrong with this concept of starting again. So if you are feeling, oh my God, I was so good. I used to be able to do good solid 4 days and I had my meals all sorted. I had a good routine. I was amazing. Why can't I do it again? You can just start small. So if you were used to going 4 days a week, just look at your diary, look at what you've got on, find a gap where you've got 2 days, do that first. Do that for a few weeks, feel success, that will motivate you to eventually do more and to get back to where you were and probably even better. Life is always going to be this, and that is okay. You're never going to be on this constant trajectory of success. That's just not how life goes. And I think the thing about fitness is we need to look at it as our friend, our supporter. It's something that's going to help you deal with other
mhm.
things in life. Lean into it. Don't feel like you've got to be amazing from the get go. It will come to you if you just slowly build some habits in. So I always think if you're super busy and you're struggling to get to the gym for that hour, 2 or 3 times a week, let's maybe look at doing something at home. That's maybe 10,
Okay.
15 minutes in the morning just to give you that boost. Or if you're again unable to get to the gym, but you've got half an hour during your lunch break, then try and consider prepping your lunches the day before so that you have time to go for that walk just to get a little bit of clarity, get that blood pumping, then come back and have your lunch. If you really want to make changes, you can, but just work within your lifestyle and then eventually things will open up. It won't feel like it's such a challenge to get those slots in because it'll feel really good. And eventually you want more of that good feeling.
I like that. And also too, when you are getting ready to set, I don't want to keep talking about goals because I mean that I think when you're trying to
Mm,
change your lifestyle to be more active and to move more, I like what you said about look at your own lifestyle, what's going on in your life, and then work from there. So then that way you have a instead of just like
absolutely.
setting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to do this. Let's slow that down and start
Yeah.
very small and look at,
Yeah.
okay, I work from 9 to 6. And then, and on these days I have, freedom at lunch or I'm free after this
Yeah.
time. And then just start building it one by one. Even if you start your workout and you only get one workout during the week, you are starting
Acknowledge you're
and you are
winning.
forward. Yes, exactly.
You're winning.
Exactly.
And like you said, work within your lifestyle. If you know that you're the sort of person that comes 6 o'clock, you do not want to leave your house. So it's winter now. It's dark by 4. But it's getting a little bit
Mhm.
better, so maybe half 4. I do not. I am not an evening workout person. I just know
Right.
I'm not. I'm better in the summer, but even still, it doesn't really work for me. So if I know because of that, if I want to be going to the gym more consistently, I need to make sure that the times I put in my diary are not past 6 o'clock because I'm not going to
Right.
do it. Don't lie
Right.
to yourself. Why would you do that to yourself? Work with yourself, not against yourself. So if you know you're not going to do something, don't start off like that. I know that I'm more likely to do it in the morning or in the afternoon. So then I look at my diary based upon morning and afternoon. And I just completely ignore the evening. If I happen to go in the evening, it's a bonus. I ain't going in the evening. It's not happening. But you work with yourself, not against yourself. And I think I say that to all of my women from the get go. You're cramming something in a time that you're already miserable. Like you don't have the time to do it. You're not happy
Right.
to do it. So you're not going to continue this journey. So let's start
Exactly.
with the means of what you're most likely to continue with, and we'll go from there.
Exactly. Like today, I was sitting there contemplating, do I want to run in the morning or do I want to run it tonight? And I know good and well, come 5, 6 o'clock, I'm be like, no. And it's dark, no. So I went ahead and got my extra jacket on and my extra socks on, and I headed out there at 34
Exactly.
degrees weather, and I got my run in, and I feel so much better afterwards. And I'm glad that I
Much
did it
better.
because come 5 or 6 o'clock, no. 5 and 6 o'clock now for me feels like midnight. I'm getting old. I'm
I've
ready to
been
go
that
to
way for the last 10 years. So yeah, completely with
bed.
you. And there are some
Yeah.
people that that's the time they have to go. And I get that. But you do have to look at what is realistic, what you're most likely going to continue doing and work with that.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so where to start if the gym feels very intimidating? And for someone like I love working out, and I
Yeah.
do get very intimidated at the gym still to this day. So like I know where I'm gonna be like, standing or moving or whatever, just so I wouldn't be just so I'm not around those big muscle guys or
Yeah.
whatever. So what do you tell people who are very intimidated by the gym?
I would say, first of all, do you want to go to the gym? Is that where you see yourself? And if it's a yes, I would I think about the gym that I work out of, and we're really lucky. We have an amazing owner, amazing manager and as a result of who they are, they encourage the rest of the community there to be engaging and receptive and open. So I would always say if you want to go to that gym space, maybe start by speaking to the manager, letting them know how you feel so that they can recognize you when you come in, make you feel comfortable, make you feel welcome, because a gym should be a community for you. And I would also, if you can, maybe stand up on the treadmill, kind of look, get the lay of the land, get familiar with where everything is, and then possibly hunt out a coach. Because sometimes the feeling of intimidation comes sometimes from a lack of knowledge as to what to do, what to use in order to hit your goal in the gym. And the sooner you can educate yourself on what to do in order to help you hit your goals, then the sooner you start to feel a bit safer and more comfortable in that space. Um, if it's not really a lack of knowledge and it's just that the space in itself is a little bit overwhelming, I would say before you step into that gym, have a little think about what exercises you want to do using dumbbells and then and free weights, kettlebells, and then just look in the gym. There's always little areas, little pockets of spaces that you can go grab some dumbbells, grab yourself a mat, 2 meters by 2 meters, and get your workout done there. And it'll be just as effective as using all the big machines that everyone else is using. Headphones in, know what it is you want to do. Don't focus on everyone else. No one is really looking at you. If you look up and someone's looking at you, it's because they're probably just catching their breath. Or they're like, what's she up to? But no one's staring at you, really judging. It's your own thoughts that are making you think that. And then I guess the third one, if you are not so sure about going into a gym space, try and get outdoors. So again, look at the times in the day that you can just go for a walk, or that might end up being a short jog, or try and look for community events. There's things here called park runs, and they are, I'm sure you've got them too, and they're held every weekend. And what's really great about these park runs, they're usually 5K every Saturday. And what's awesome about it is that everyone with a dog, with a pushchair, who are, marathon pro runners, who super slope, there's everyone there. So you never really feel alone and you never feel judged. You can do it at whatever pace. And as the weeks and the months go on, you start to feel like you've got a bit of a community, you get a little bit more confidence in you, and you start running. So there are options out there. Just try and say yes a little bit more, and lean on people to help you, because we're there. Whether it's the manager in the gym, the coach, the community at the park run, we are there.
That's fantastic. And I like the park run idea. I like, I find my little pockets in the gym and I kind of stick to those little pockets. I get a great workout in those pockets. And also too, if you're at home and you're just trying to start moving, you can do body weight exercises as well. There's plenty of videos out there that can get you started.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I'll actually have a few exercises that Vivian has done for the Risers Hub podcast. And it'll be on the risershub.com, so you can check that out as well. So we are going to keep moving along and talk about the benefits of a personal trainer and group exercise. So for me, I have always been working out. I've actually been a group fitness instructor. And now that I'm looking at other ways of getting fit, I go to a community gym. I go to a class twice a week for that community. So talk about the benefits of personal training and the benefits of group exercise.
So the benefits of, let's start with personal training and having a coach. It's knowledge and sharing of that knowledge and that information. A lot of times when people come to me, they say, I just don't know what to do in order to be able to X, Y, Z. That's why I've stepped in and say, don't worry, you don't need to know everything right now. Start working with me. Over the week, over the month, you will become incredibly knowledgeable about what works for you and why you're doing what it is you're doing. I would say, again, the benefit of working with a coach as well is that it's a faster way to succeed. It doesn't. There's so many times that people will go and stand in a gym space and they'll be there for a year or two and nothing ever changes. They're not getting any stronger, any fitter, or they're just coasting. And then they finally get a
Mhm.
coach and they're like, oh my God, I feel like Superwoman and it's only 3 months.
Yes.
The power that we should be able to kind of instill in you. So if you're feeling like you're coasting or you're um, not too sure what to do or why you need to do something, get a coach. If when it comes to group exercise and classes, I teach classes and I love teaching them. The energy, the
Yeah.
camaraderie, the community, it's buzzing.
Mhm.
It's just, I mean, I love the one to one. I know I sound really ridiculous. Sorry. I love the one to one.
No,
I love
that's
seeing the
exactly how I
why.
feel.
It's so amazing. And what's really great is when you see week on, every week, someone, when you hear another woman say, I saw you 3 months ago and you couldn't do that. And I check you out. And I'm like, yeah. And they don't even realize that people are watching and people are cheering them on. And so if you're ever feeling a little bit lost and you don't know what to do and you would like to have a friend to do it with, but you don't have a friend that lives anywhere near the gym you're going to, join in with a class because the energy and the support that you will get, even when you don't realize it, it's electric and it's contagious as well. It really is. It really, really is.
Yes.
So, and a lot of the women that I see one to one, some of them started in classes, or some of them have then gone to classes.
Mhm.
You get a bit of everything. So
Yeah.
do it all if you can.
Yes. And the one thing I want to add about the personal training, and correct me if I'm wrong, Vivian,
Mm,
if you get a personal trainer, it's great to have a personal trainer because, like she said, it builds up your confidence. They can show you
mm,
how to do all the exercises correctly. And this trainer should be able to coach you in a way where when later on when you're not around, you can do it on your own. That is really the goal of having a
absolutely.
personal trainer. If you're with this personal trainer for 3 years and you're actually getting results and it's because you just love this personal, that's still fine, that's still okay. But if at the end of the day, they need to teach you how to do all these different moves. So, like, if
Mm,
you are out of town or you're away, yeah, for whatever reason, or they get sick, you can still you can still move and do everything
yeah,
correctly because you were taught and coached correctly. And also too,
absolutely.
the yeah, and also too, the personal trainer should be there watching you and making sure that, that you are doing everything correctly and not saying, "Okay, we're gonna do this," and then they're over here looking over there and not they're on their phone like,
All there.
and yeah, I'm
Yeah.
calling them out because I
Hmm.
see this in gyms, here and there, not all of them, but,
Yeah.
you have to find someone who's going to be there for you and they wanna see you win, and they're coaching and teaching you along the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah?
exactly that, exactly that. And I just, along with what you said, you should have, I want my clients to want me, not need me eventually. That you should be working with
Exactly.
someone to the point where you can say, you can go now, but if you want to stay, it's because you want more of the energy, but I know you know how to do it because I know I've coached you right. And if you're looking for, I don't know if you can hear my dog, he's just right here. If you're
It's
looking
okay.
for a coach, then you do need to take a little while, stand somewhere high and just watch the coaches in and around the gym, that space, if that's where you're going, and just look at the
Mhm.
ones who are paying attention to their clients and look at the
Yes.
ones who are happy to be there because you do not want someone who carries all their drama with them in your hour.
Yes.
This is about you and their focus and attention needs to be on you. Are you doing it right? Why are you doing this? How can I help you succeed? And only that.
Exactly, because you're investing in yourself and you need someone who values that. So I love that.
Absolutely.
All right. So one question, and a lot of people have a debate about this: morning workouts versus evening workouts. And I know
Mm,
earlier we talked about, looking at your schedule and knowing your lifestyle and having to like do this or do that. But then there are some, a few scientific things about boosting your metabolism and the energy for the day
mm,
versus release of stress in the evening. So what what is your opinion on morning versus evening workouts?
Whilst that research is there and has relevance, it very much depends on what it is you're doing. So, for
Right.
instance, I used to teach until quite late in the evening. So I would train my clients, let's say till about 6 o'clock, and then I would teach a couple dance classes and a hit class, and I'd finish around 9 p.m. I would feel quite
Mm,
tired come the end of my day, that I was quite wired, and then it
mm,
didn't make for a great night's sleep. So
mhm.
it really does depend on you. It depends on what type of exercise you're doing, what works best for you. Will you be able to get your workout in the morning if you know that you can't do it in the evening? There is not
Right.
one size fits all. You have to look at what else you need to do in your day, in your working day with your family, and work it around there. One thing I will say is that you have to make time. You can't wait for it to appear. So you do have to take a
Mhm.
moment to look at your calendar each week and say, right, I'm great in the evening, but only from 6 till 7. So I'm gonna go do my run there. But if I did a weight training session at 6 or 7, I'm gonna feel a bit wired. So I'm gonna make sure that my weight training session is in the morning before I go to work. I'm I'm an advocate of what works for you and stick
Mhm.
to that, and don't try and make the workouts work a kind of don't make sure the workouts work around your lifestyle and not trying to fit it in the other way around. It never works. It's never sustainable at all. What are
Yeah,
your
and
thoughts
also
on it
too,
in
like
terms of morning?
yeah, I've been working out forever. So the 30 years of my life, I would say every 10 years it changed. So when I had small
Mm,
children and and a husband, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would have this
yeah,
block, and Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. because everyone was up at 6 a.m. I
yeah,
would go for my run and or go to the gym, and then I would be back by 6 o'clock. Um I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I would shower, shit, and shave, and then get and be ready
yep.
for the day. And then
In that order.
yeah, and I'd be ready for the day, and I had that done. And then
Yeah.
as, my kids were getting busier and older, I had to change it where, luckily the places that I worked had gyms there, so at lunchtime, I
Mm,
would have, 30 minutes of working out, about 10 to 15 minutes of cleaning myself up, 15
yeah.
minutes of eating my lunch, and I was right back at work. So it's changed now that I've gotten older.
Hmm.
I do look for community. So a lot of the community runs that I want to do, they're in the evening. Do I like
Yeah.
that? No. But what I do
But
is
do
I
I
work out
want
in the
it?
morning. I'll Exactly, I lift in the morning, and then I know, like, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm gonna meet the groups, or Wednesday nights, so I know I'm gonna head out there, and when I'm done, I feel great, and I'm
Yeah.
like you, like, I will be a little wired for a while, but,
Mm,
yeah, I work it in my schedule where I know the next day, "Okay, well, let's just take that morning off and then start all over
yeah.
again the following day." So, you really have to look at what kinda lifestyle you have and what's gonna work for you, and for me,
Yeah.
like, fitness is like eating, so I make sure that
It's
I
part of
get it
you.
in there, so
Yeah,
exactly,
and I would say
exactly. Yeah.
if you have a luxury means to be able to choose a couple different times, then I would say try out those different times and then see how productive you are based upon
Mhm.
that. So if you generally you can go in the morning or go in the evening and it doesn't bother you which way, actually try both and then just see what the rest of your day looks like. Because for me, I know
Right.
that if I get my workout done quite early in the day, I am so much more productive and I'm probably a nicer person to be around too. And I think it's because I've selfishly done something for me and I'm like, yeah, good, let's crack on with the day. But I'm
There
aware
you
that when
go.
it gets to kind of like 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and I haven't quite done my workout, I'm kind of a little bit more on edge. So yeah, I would
Yeah.
say have a little look and see what sort of person you are after you've done a workout, depending on the time of day, and then try and stick to that.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. So, Vivian, what are your gym must-haves? Like, what's in that gym bag of yours
Oh,
when you're going to
way too much. I have so many pairs of leggings in my gym bag. I don't know why. I just have multiple items, but yeah, you probably don't want that because the washing is endless. Um,
Yeah.
Tunes. I need good music. I need good
Yes.
music. I need a good playlist. Um, when you have a good playlist, you stop watching what's going around. You're here, you're present. So I would say make sure you've got earphones, headphones, whatever, and get a playlist sorted for yourself. Um, you need comfortable workout gear. You don't need to be like, you're not on a run show, a fashion show, or anything like that. Just wear something comfortable that you can move in. You don't want to have to keep rearranging your bra or pulling your leggings up every 5 seconds.
Right.
You come here to make pretty, not look pretty. I come here to work out and sweat. And so, yeah, just make sure you're comfortable. If you want to wear an extra baggy t-shirt, wear the extra baggy t-shirt. Just make sure you got a good sports bra. I would say as women,
Oh,
invest
yeah.
in a good sports bra, please. Um,
Yes.
so whether they're big or small, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you're holding them in. Just hold them tight.
Yes.
And what else? What else do you need? So good music, nice, easy, comfortable gym wear, decent sports bra, possibly a friend if you need that extra support, then feel free, bring
Yep.
a friend along. Um,
Bring
oh,
your water. Bring your water. Stay hydrated.
oh, you have to stay hydrated, that's for sure. Is there anything else? Those really are my top ones. And then finally, if you can, grab a coach. Grab a coach,
Yes.
someone who's going to help you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, make sure you're doing it correctly. You don't have to, if it's a good coach, you don't have to have a coach for years and years and years. You might just say, look, I really need a couple of months where I need you to make sure I'm doing everything right and you can help me with a plan. So, yeah, a plan. Have a plan.
Apply it.
Doesn't need to be massive.
Yes. Yeah.
Have a plan.
I love it. I love it. Vivian, thank you so much for being on the Risers Hub today.
Oh,
Everyone,
thank you for
please
having me.
remember your fitness journey. Yes, your fitness journey is not a sprint. And I
Mm-mm.
hope that this was helpful for someone out there who is on a fitness journey, you don't know where to start. I hope that we gave you some pointers on where to start, how to maintain it. And as always, keep moving and keep rising. Thank you, Vivian.
Amen to that. You're very welcome. Take care. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. To learn more about the Risers Hub, check us out at therisershub.com or follow us on Instagram or TikTok at The Risers Hub. This podcast is meant for both education and entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist, so it's crucial to consult your physician, psychotherapist, or qualified health professionals. Until next time, and as always, take care and keep rising. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would like to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share. I mean, that's what they told me to say. So can you hook a girl up? Thanks. Bye.